Hey everyone, Mr. Mom Collectibles, and I am back with another video. One I'm so excited to be talking about, and it is going to be the Jazzinc 89 Batmobile and the updates to the car, and also our first comparison to the existing Hot Toys one. Now, to be fair, it's the Hot Toys model that already has come out. Hot Toys is making their own, but as it stands, there's been no updates to the vehicle, so we are to assume it is going to be the same one as of right now, at least. But I'm so excited to be looking at this video. I do have both vehicles on order. I've said that time and time again, and how excited I am to get them in. I will do a comparison on them eventually when I do have them both in my collection. But I'm a huge 89 Batman fan, so obviously when these both went up for order, I jumped on the pre-order for both of them, and I've been so excited to see the updates from Jazzinc as we went along. And this is the video that I've been really waiting to talk about, and it's the actual comparison of both cars side by side. So let's get into it. So here we have both vehicles. Now, at the time of making this video, it's December 22nd, and Yoast has here that the pre-orders close on December 31st. If you are interested after seeing this video to pre-ordering the 89 Batmobile, I will put both links in the description below, one to the Jazzinc and one to the Hot Toys from Sideshow. It is currently waitlisted, but if you jump on the waitlist, you may get a conversion. Who knows? But I'll put all that information in there along with the video and all of Jazzinc's information. Just want to make sure you all have that. Like I said, this video is from their YouTube channel, and so he uploaded this a couple days ago, and just going over the updates as you see here. Yoast is narrating the video, so I have it muted right now. But if you want to watch like his explanation of everything, we're just kind of going over the visuals. But I've been really impressed with what I've seen so far. I am a first-time Jazzinc purchaser, and so I've been really excited to kind of see. And basically the process goes, when you go to pre-order, as it goes along, you then start to see the prototype being built, and he shares all the behind the scenes information of the build process. So as a customer, you kind of understand what's going on with the vehicle. Now, the 89, he's saying, is pretty much the most popular one in terms of, and there's been a lot of people on the fence about this because, Hot Toys came out with theirs a few years back, and then they re-announced the same car again around the time right before the Flash movie came out. They did it with the 89 Batman, and then Yoast has his. And so there's been people that have been kind of divided, but like I said, I was a little skeptical. I won't lie. The Hot Toys one I day one pre-ordered, I waited on the Jazzinc one because I was a little timid about the price, and I was a little concerned that there was no physical prototype, and I was pre-ordering a $1,500 vehicle with no prototype up front to kind of see, no physical piece. But I gotta say, from what I'm seeing here, and that's what I'm basing this on, I am very, very impressed with this. Obviously, at the very beginning, Yoast was touting all the accuracies that he was going to make sure his car had versus the Hot Toys one. And, so far, everything that he said has really come to fruition from what I see in terms of the overall design of the car, the paint, everything like that. And also the length of it is the biggest thing. Is that you'll see a side-by-side of here and the Hot Toys one. And a lot of people were quick to see that the Hot Toys car was undersized. I'm going to pause this right here for a moment so you guys see. The Hot Toys one did seem undersized. To me, it looked very small. Even when the canopy was actually open, you kind of then got that perspective of how small the car was. And so that was one of the biggest things that was pointed out by Yoast and other, collectors, of how small the car was. When you scale it down, compared to the real vehicle, it just wasn't actually, accurate enough. And so as you can see here, this was probably the big eye-opening one. I made this the thumbnail just to kind of get the idea, but it's very impressive how big the Jazzinc one is in terms of the scale. And so Yoast is basically going over the features of the car. There is going to be various areas of the car being die cast. In terms of part of it's going to be structural, which I was happy about. I really wanted more of the structural side of the car to be die cast to ensure the durability side. I know collectors were talking about having the frame potentially be die cast, but for weight purposes, it's a little unrealistic. So at the end of the video, he kind of scatters out, and I'll pause it there also, where you can see that he sprinkled die cast elements around the car, which that's what I like. Not everything has to be die cast just because of weight, and it's a little unrealistic when it's sitting on the shelf. So I like that he went with, the frame itself and then sprinkled in die cast aspects. He basically goes on to say that with the amount of pre-orders that he got, it was allowing him to upgrade and add more and more to the vehicle. It does have the turbine in the back that, the sound effects, lights, the smoke coming out of the back. And also a surprise that he adds, which we'll talk about a little bit later. He added another surprise aspect to the car, but it'll be plug-in USB, so you can plug the car in, keep it turned on in your display. But like I said, for me, I'm talking about from my perspective. I was very skeptical with Jazzinc. I knew about them previously to ordering this vehicle, and they're one of those companies where you hear good and you hear bad. Now, the biggest thing about Jazzinc was, you know, and I still am kind of leaving that up, is that I'm just hoping that the physical production cars live up to the prototype. I'm sure that we're going to get a final reveal, and there's that turbine in the back, the exhaust, the jet with the lights and everything. And then even here, like the cockpit, like I'm very impressed with the amount of detailing that you see here with the cockpit, the instrument panel, all that stuff. It all lights up. He even actually explained in the video that he actually wants to dumb down the lighting. The lighting's a little too intense right now, but he wants to kind of dumb that down a little bit so it's a little more easy to see. But he, like I said, he was saying with the amount of pre-orders that he was getting, even more, it's allowing him to basically increase the budget on the vehicle and add more features and more fine tuning. Like this just looks really great right here. Like the whole cockpit inside, and it's going to have leather-like material for the seats, not full leather, but a leather-like, the way he calls it. But like I said, getting back to it, for me being a first-time Jazzinc purchaser, I did wait a little bit to buy this car. I thought about it day one, and then I held off on it. I held off on it a little bit just because, like I said, I wasn't sure if I wanted to kind of spend the money. I thought I'd be satisfied with the Hot Toys one, but then what I'm going to be striving for in my display, why I'm getting two vehicles, is I'm going to be displaying one as an '89 Batman display, which would probably be the Jazzinc one because it looks to be the most accurate and more, obviously robust vehicle. So that one's going to probably be my '89 display, and then I'm going to use the Hot Toys as the 1992 Batman Returns display. But I like how he added the same thing with the Hot Toys ones. They both kind of it's an idealized version, since the car was pretty much the same vehicle used in both movies. I think the paint application was a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same car. They just added some features like the shin crashers, if you want to call these, the shin blades that came out at the beginning of that. And also right here is these were used as well. These, I shot the little discs out. And then also underneath both vehicles has the drop down lift that actually rotated the car when it had to turn different directions. So they both have those features included to make it kind of a hybrid between '89 and '92. But once again, the biggest thing that really a lot of people kind of was the size of the vehicle, because before the Jazzinc, we only have a Hot Toys to go by, and I don't think anyone really kind of questioned the length of it until, like I said, something bigger and potentially better comes along. And you could just see the differences here. I do, at least, kind of like the curvature, the lines, even the front turbine engine. You just see how the lines flow. They do look more accurate. It does. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The way the canopy, everything like that, there is just all those differences and subtle differences in the vehicle put together, just making an overall, what I think looks like a really fantastic product. Now, like I said, my only concern at this point is going to be, obviously, can the production vehicles live up to the prototype? Understandingly so, when you do a prototype, typically you're going to put your eggs in one basket to make the best looking prototype that you can. I'm just hoping that this translates to the production cars being the same. That's no knock. I'd say that about anything that I was invested this much in art, Hot Toys, anything like that. And so that's where my last kind of bit of excitement is for, is that, like I said, I think right now I'm in the second run at this time. So that's where I am. I didn't fall into first batch. I am currently sitting in the second batch. I only have a few $100s left on the car to pay off to maintain that record of being in second batch. But that's kind of like I've heard both sides. I mean, people that love Jazzinc buy all their products, and I've heard people that have bought them that are basically saying that, listen, you would rather be kind of in the second, third batches, because sometimes the first batch can have some kinks to it, and they kind of get worked out. So we'll see what happens with that, obviously. But right now I'm in the second batch, and from what I'm seeing, this looks fantastic. I absolutely love all this. I love everything I'm seeing here. The die-cast elements sprinkled throughout the car, the detailing, it's everything that you kind of expect with this kind of price tag. And the one thing that Yost is talking about here is that he upgraded some extras. So I believe that the hubcaps here are going to be die cast. and they're also able to laser engrave the fonting on the font on the tires, and the front turbine is actually going to turn. That's going to be radio controlled, I believe. The front turbine is actually going to be able to spin, and yet here you have the lettering on the tires. He's going to have that laser engraved, which it wasn't originally, but those are some extras with the budget. He's able to laser engrave the tires. I think the steering wheel is going to be die cast as well, he said. So right here, I'll pause this. These are the elements with the red arrow that he's going to have metal and die cast parts. I believe he says roughly about 22 areas between little vents and the caps on the car, the gas cap, and just elements around the car that are meant to be, the gun covers here, things like that. And I'm okay with that. I know originally people wanted all die cast, but that's not realistic. For those who know, I have the Eagle Moss, the 1/8 scale DeLorean, which is pretty much, I would say, roughly about 80 to 90% metal or die cast in areas. The car weighs a ridiculous amount of weight, and it's just unrealistic. It's silly to have a car that with that much die cast. So I think it's a smart move that Yost, and he kind of stressed that in the beginning, that the die cast would be depending on the amount of budgeting that he has and what's realistic. And so I'm happy with that he made it kind of scattered around. I think overall, once you hold the vehicle, you're going to be pleasantly surprised with this. Like I said, you don't need die cast everywhere. And this just looks really great. And so it's a nice update from Yost. I appreciate the updates, and I like how he's taking us throughout, taking us along for the journey. And this kind of gives you a breakdown of all the specifications of actually what the car is. This is kind of where the video comes to an end, but he basically gives a list of all of the specs on the car and what it has here. And so, like I said, just to wrap up the video, as a first-time Jazzinc purchaser, I'm very excited for what I see. It makes me still very happy for my purchase. I don't regret my purchase. I've been asked that, like, you regret getting it? Are you happy with just the Hot Toys one? No, I'm absolutely happy that I'm getting the Jazzinc one. I'm just hoping that we, get some final, probably get another couple final production videos from it once it's completely done. And then, like I said, rolling into production, I just hope that the production cars live up to the prototype. That's all I'm hoping for. But like I said, guys, I'm going to link all this stuff in the description of this video below, so you guys can check this out. Yost definitely goes into much more detail than I did. I just gave you an overview of it and what my thoughts were as a first-time customer, and kind of where my mindset's at right now. But definitely, I'll put this video in the link below, along with all the appropriate information. If you're interested in pre-ordering, I'll put the link to Jazzinc's website there. You have until, like you said, beginning of the video. He put the December 31st is when the pre-orders close. And I know that seeing this side by side, it definitely drummed up the hype more for the car. And I'm sure he's going to get more pre-orders in now after seeing this. There might even be some people canceling their Hot Toys and flipping over to Jazzinc. Who knows? But until then, guys, make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and enjoy the content, and drop a comment and let me know what your thoughts are. Are you getting the Jazzinc one? Are you as excited as I am for this? Or are you passing, sticking with the Hot Toys one? I think either one, depending on who you are as a collector and how it fits into your display and your budget, I think you're going to be happy with either one of them. That's why I'm getting both. So I'm not criticizing either one negatively. I think either one of them just fits a different type of collector, depending on your financial situation, your space, your budget, and what you are willing to spend. That's all it comes down to. So until then, this is Mr. Mom Collectibles, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.